Hello, so today we're going to be making a very simple but dark in colour and tone collage, and with just one little piece of colour. So I thought I've used this picture of this model here from this magazine, and that was where the inspiration began, because I like the way how it goes around there and how she's over something. So first I'm going to remove this page from the magazine, and I'll put in a note on there to replace the pillows. So because I sourced this image about a week ago, so sometimes I will forget these things, so I'll write notes on there. So I will cut along the spine of the page here, and it's a tiny bit messy, but it's okay because I'm going to end up trimming at the edge there afterwards. And this is where the piece, the little bit that's going to have a little bit of colour in it, and the other black and white image I'm going to have is from this book, Fireman's World. It's a book about firemen, and this book of fire damage, this image of fire damage wreckage here. So again, I like to cut close to the spine. That's really handy for when I have images that go across the, sometimes you got images that go across 2 pages. I usually do a neater job of this, but I'm trying to see what I'm cutting tighter, but I'm trying to show what I'm doing but for the camera. So right, that's that. What I was going to do is have a cut out here, have this bit of wreckage here, and above the top and the bottom I was going to have white at the top, but have it appear at the top and bottom here are torn. So I have some white A4 paper here, which I was going to tear the paper and not this, so that if there are any mistakes made, then it's just I can just replace the A4 paper. This is a one-shot job really. So let's cut this lady out of the picture then. For this one, I just liked the whole thing of this black and white image of how it looked. You don't get to see too much black and white surrealism going on, and this one is very much surrealist. So let's quiet everything there. In fact, I'm going to change the blade on this one. Could do with being a touch sharper. The good thing about these scalpels is the blade just quickly pops off like that. Very easy to replace. Yeah, that's it, done. You can already tell there, the cuts, listening to it, that it's sharper. And the cut's a lot cleaner. Some people that would do this by scissors, and I just never really got into the knack of doing that. I always start off with some form of a craft knife, even if it was before I went to scalpels, you know, a snap-off blade. So I did actually at one point attempt to use scissors for some kind of little delicate work, but a set of cuticle scissors, and they ended up getting used for what they're actually really intended for, of actually cutting nails. So it's just, you know, once you're used to doing some things a certain way, then it's sometimes hard to shift. Because obviously there's some challenges that can only be done by scalpel, some that are better done by scissors, but you end up adapting and learning to make everything as much as you can done with the one thing. So this lady's not taking too long to cut out. She's almost done. This is going to be a very quick collage to make, because it's only like a couple of elements and one that's very easy to cut out. And as you can see, what I'm doing here is like I do, I think when it's digital, it's just easy for me to hack away the big bits first and then take the little. There's one advantage of scalpel, it also helps you pick up the, it's got a sharp point to try and help pick up the stray bits, kind of like a litter picker. Right, so that's the lady cut out, and now I shall cut out the coin. a little piece of colour, bit of colour. The actual particular coin I'm using, this image, is something I printed off for my son's history homework, and it doesn't really have any meaning beyond the fact that I like the look of it. So sometimes when I say about some things being pretentious in art, it's not the fact, I don't mean the fact of you look at, you know, some people will say about what modern art being pretentious because you have to really think about what it means. That's not what I mean when I'm talking about that. What I mean is when I find when you see paintings of very ordinary things, like a landscape or a still life or whatever, and then people try and put meaning into that in the fact of what colours they used and that kind of thing. Well, no, the colours are used because that was what was there. The thing they decided to paint may have maybe had some kind of meaning to them or invoked some kind of feeling, but the colours they painted what was there. Something like this, you can put in. I have no problem with then people trying to find meaning in there that maybe not have been there when I made it, but that's absolutely fine because it's up to you to interpret. So you're not needing some kind of guidebook to interpret it like some right-wing people moan about modern art. It's sometimes you interpret, unless I've made something where it really is just smacking you over the head about what it's about. Some of the weirder, more open to interpretation stuff is literally that. It's open to interpretation. It can mean for you what it means for you. And sometimes it can mean for me what it means to me, or it can mean I look at it and I'm like, I know why I did this, or I did it because I thought it looked fun. Some of the this one, what I had in mind was just because I liked the shape that this model was making of the body, and I had the idea of having, I mean, it was a dark image with the pillars. I could have just put the copped out and just put the coin hovering over there, but I thought I wanted to put something again horrific, and the coin maybe being some kind of some kind of saving grace almost. So it's one tear. Let's see about the other. Now I've got to make it so that it will make up the whole of the image. What I can do is I can cheat here, as I can have that coming in, and I can just trim it, so I don't have to cut twice. So now I'm going to use the back of my cutting board as a gluing board. I should really sort out myself a proper gluing board. I've got some brand new Pritt stick, and let's see about getting this thing put together. So oops, picking up two things at once. So I quite like the torn paper look. It adds a certain unreality to things, a certain savagery almost. I'm just putting this here so I can see kind of where I'd like the tear to be. So what I can do is I can then, and what I've done here is I've marked off on the paper under here, just under where it's going to go. What I've done is I've glued along this bit here, you can see it in a line along there to help hold it on, and I'll still glue underneath the bottom once I've put it all on. So that's all nicely done. Yeah, and as you see there, it's stuck itself there. There's a little bit that's lifted there. And now the lady. The good thing about Pritt Stick is it will stick once, it will stick well, and you'd find this with UHU as well. These the high quality versions of these glue sticks, so Pritt Stick or UHU, it will stick very much when you're putting it down, but it dries very quickly, so you don't have much repositioning time. So you don't have to worry about your surface you've just glued on then mucking up where you need to glue next, or what you need to glue next. So it's always a good thing, and also it dries clear as well, always good. Right, so that's this glued up. This is one that's a bit big. This is one that'll be a bit of a trick to lay down. So here now we are. Stuck a little bit to the bottom. But this is now the piece stuck down and in need of trimming. Oh no, I've got to put the coin on. So see where I shall have this coin. I shall have it hovering above here. So it just gives this little bit of colour to it. And this is it now. I've just got to sign it. And then I shall, once the glue is properly set, I shall then trim it off, and that's it, 100% done. So I'll just put my, let's actually lay this out, iron this out flat. It's quite thin paper, this. You know what this magazine is on. It's my first hand cut one of the year. Now, as you can see, maybe see here, it hasn't glued down. So what I will do here, another handy thing about using a craft knife, but I use it with the old blade, is you can just cut a bit off the glue stick and slide it under there. Oh, the whole thing didn't stick down, so I forgot to glue that particular bit. Like I said, this thing, even if you get a bit over, glues clear, dries clear even. It's also water soluble, so and that's that there. I've got a little bit of dirt there, unfortunately, so but that should come off or it becomes part of the piece. So that is that done there. So I shall trim this off and then it's completely done. So hope you like this. Hope this was informative for you, interesting to you. I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. Be very happy to see it once it's actually properly trimmed off. I've got to cut a bit off her knee here. And as always, like, share and subscribe. And my details are in all my my link tree is in my in the description, and it's got all my my socials, my merch links where you can buy stuff, and like, share, and subscribe. That all helps, especially the sharing and the subscribing. It helps with the dreaded algorithms. People can actually find more people can find these, and I shall hear from you soon. Thank you. And here it is. Here's the finished piece. I think this has turned out quite well, I think, and it's almost the right shape and definition to make a good album cover. I think I'm probably going to call this one Coin Drop, or Token. That's what I'll call it. I'll call it Token. So, as I said before, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.